So welcome to part two. So like I said this morning, so when I approached this vehicle to do some work, I was going to do some work on it. So I reached up, and for the door handle, and nobody's outside. There's obviously ladies inside, but nobody's out here in the yard. No drivers, none of that's around. So I reached up and I pulled on the door handle of this truck, and lo and behold, the truck was unsecure. This truck had not been locked. It had obviously sat here overnight, sat here, all this morning. One other thing that I also noticed when I opened the door of the truck, I thought, well, let me locate the shipping papers, and what throwed that a red flag is there's no shipping papers in the door pocket. So, I searched through the truck, through a binder and this, that, and the other, and I could not locate shipping papers in this particular vehicle. And I want you to notice that pair of gloves right there on the floorboard of this truck, which will, tie together here in just a minute. But so I said, okay, so we got to get some shipping papers in this truck so we don't get a citation for that. So I worked my way down this particular truck, and I looked at the, the test dates on our VKs and our hydros. And this is what I noticed. As you notice, we do have a VK date that's good. It expires 5/22, but notice right below it, it says VK/19. Now I know, and you probably know, that's the hydro test, but does the DOT officer know? So we need to make sure on these test stickers that we have the right letters reflecting what was actually done on a vehicle. So, just check that, make sure that that's right. That's low-hanging fruit that we can correct to prevent future problems down the road. So then I continued on down this particular truck, and I thought, well, what about the fire extinguishers? Let's look at it. So I started looking at the fire extinguisher, and I noticed that the last time this thing had an annual inspection, as you can see, is October of 2020. So obviously this is way out of date. We're in 2022. So we need to, get an annual inspection on this fire extinguisher. And then they do have the sticker on here as far as monthly goes. But then I noticed, unfortunately, that no one had been checking this fire extinguisher on a monthly basis. And I, know we have a program in place with our gate checks, and our safety champions are supposed to be reassuring that that is being done. But unfortunately, in this particular case, it has not been. And then I opened up the toolbox of this truck, and, noticed that these gloves, or the meter box, sorry. Notice that these particular gloves was back here in the back, and I'm not saying that whoever drives this don't get the ones out of the front, but obviously these are not the right gloves to be delivering gas in to prevent you from being, burned by the propane. So then I noticed over here that the nozzle, the liquid nozzle, that we deliver gas with, on all delivery hoses, we're supposed to have a coupling on the end of this, a Fisher M570, something of that nature that, if you get stuck on a tank, you can separate that and then, continue about your day. But this particular one has this style screwed to this. And I thought when I first came up here, well, that will work, but this makes it very difficult on the driver. So I took the hose nozzle off thinking, well, this right here will just hand thread off, come off, and then, okay, not really the ideal situation, but that does work. I cannot take this off with my hands. That is on there so tight that there's no way a driver takes that off with their hands. So that tells me that when this truck is drove, this truck is making deliveries without a coupling, which is, very dangerous if the plunger in the tank doesn't seat back. So it is a policy that every bobtail has couplings on the end of the delivery hoses, so you will not get stuck on a tank. Also, if I went around this particular truck, and I'll try to do it to keep this particular location anonymous as far as that goes, but also noticed during the review of this truck is this. I noticed that placard was faded. If you have any discrepancies about a placard, whether it needs to be changed or not, just stick a new one right beside it. Hold it up there. If it's not the same color, if it's not Coca-Cola red, change the placard. That would prevent us of DOT citation on the side of the road about faded placards. that's just some of the things, unfortunately, that I found and do find from time to time out in the field when I'm going around. And I'm going to work with this particular location about getting these small things corrected. But one thing that I do want to mention to you guys that's so important as far as that goes is make sure we lock these trucks. We can't have trucks sitting on site out in our yards overnight, you know, and they're unlocked. You would never leave your personal vehicle unlocked, sitting overnight anywhere. Most of us lock our vehicles, as far as that goes, you know, at our homes at night. So please secure the vehicles, check your fire extinguishers, have the right PPE when you're delivering gas, and also get a coupling on the end of your bobtail hose if you don't have it already. You guys have a safe day and a safe week. Thank you.